Hello, this is a follow-up of my latest video where I spoke about the new non-flower papercrete thingy inspired on a non-flower paper clay from Johnny Good, if you remember. I know it's been a while. On this video I'm going to talk about my experiences with what I've been doing within that kind of. So, on my last video I showed you two clumps of papercrete without flour, and with the white one I tried this. This is what Johnny Good calls coconut froth paper, toilet paper, glue, pasty joint compound, and concrete, and a tiny bit of oil. It dried as slow as normal clay, or let's say paper clay with flour, and sort of shrinked more than the paper crete paste with flour, and also created some cracks. I don't know if the cracks are because the paste, when I started to use to play with the paste over the bust in order to get this, was already becoming dried, or I don't know. In the meantime, I remembered that when Das Fila, the Das Enterprise, offered me 3 kilos of dust clay, they also offered me 2 packets of cellulose paper mache thingy, which I've never had used before, and I was rather intrigued, especially because I know some people that use it. And I thought, okay, if it's just to add water and mix without glue or adding anything else, let's try. I tried. I was rather fascinated and really in love with it, because it was so easy, and texture-wise was fine, detail-wise it was superb, and I was really in love with it. I began really fascinated with this easiness of how to get a paper paste. And then I used it, because I always have pieces hanging around in order to have fun, of course, but to try things. I've played with that paper clay on this paste. I used a fan. It's not a fan, it's a gas heater, because it's winter, it's cold, blah blah blah. So I used it to dry this piece. This piece is not finished yet. It's a male. It's not really a torso, is it? Anyway, and it dried rather fast. But after drying, I noticed that it's, don't know if I can say it sucks the, if you have a flat surface and then you cover your surface with that clay, paper clay or cellulose paper clay, whatever you want to call it, it sort of sinks and see, goes down here. And I was like, oh. Then I created, or I thought about creating, it's not really creating, but to that cellulose paper mache paste I added this pasty joint compound, as I mentioned before, and the the result was lots of cracks. Looks like bread actually, and well, it was a bit. But still, again, this piece when finished, it's I'm planning to cover it with dust clay anyway for details, so it's not grave, it's not serious, it's not anything like but again, this is a piece to experiment the pastes anyway, so it's not really serious or something really. In the meantime, I've been thinking, so if one has a structure, how do you call it, a structure, and want to cover it with this in the end, or this in the end, why shall I bother about giving it a layer of paper mache? Because it takes lots of time to dry and it's boring, right? So from a armature, that's the word I wanted, from a cardboard armature or a aluminium foil armature, or whichever armature one has, why not just giving a layer of this, even mixed with concrete, or this if you want lots of details. I mean, yeah, paper mache, it's cute, it's fun, it's a fun paste to make, but it's rather slow and rather boring sometimes, no? Especially when you want to really make a sculpture, a fast sculpture that's dries fast and finishes, and you're able to finish it fast. Like paper mache, it's not really the thing, huh? So in the meantime, today was the day. Within that, the bust that I'm always showing you, from which I do these, for example, I've covered it with aluminium foil and tape, and some pieces of newspaper and more tape. So I was able to do this, although I was thinking about doing it out of a balloon, but it's not really the shape I wanted. So, this one is the same as this one, but this is paper paste, and this is just aluminium foil, tape, paper tape. I know that there's a name for this, but I can't remember. Tape, and within some layers of tape, some newspaper strips, in order to reinforce the whole structure. It's not really strong, but it's strong enough. And also I've covered some parts with a fantastic aluminium foil tape that I have. I think it's to use on some house. This thing is just amazing, because it's aluminium foil and has really good glue, and it bends, and it's like aluminium foil and keeps the form. So to reinforce this piece was really a plus, and I use it lots of time. Let's say I use it often to cover whatever I need, or to glue, or to blah, whatever. I've also experimenting, because I had this crazy idea about doing dolls, like the ones from that Russian gentleman, Michael something, sorry, I don't remember, but he does really realistic dolls, and I thought about trying that style with the materials I know, like dust instead of polymer clay, which I hate polymer clay. Don't know if I ever said it. I hate polymer clay. I hate anything that has to go to the oven. Yeah, I made this little head base structure, but out of newspaper glue and filling this mold, silicone that I made somewhere. Doesn't matter. I'm looking at my script because I just started to talk a lot and I won't say much. Yeah, I have been having some Etsy sales that I'm really thankful about. Had two portrait commissions, so the year isn't starting that bad, and I'm doing also within the whole pastes and whatever, and having my day work. I'm doing within the small scale dolls. I'm doing this. It's a reproduction of a 19th century photograph that shows King Ferdinand II and his second wife, Countess Edla, two very important figures to Sintra. He built the Pena Palace and she built the chalet of the Countess, or the Countess chalet, and it's just two major monuments that you can visit in Sintra. So I'm having fun now with a whole idea of like it's like a theater kind of miniature diorama, if that's how you spell it. Diorama sounds like a Portuguese word, but yeah, I've been rather busy this past days, as always anyway, and within the whole idea of paper mache and pastes and painting on cardboard or canvases, which I'm really shifting into becoming more fond of painting on canvases than painting on my paper mache based canvases. I'm somehow becoming more fond of commercial canvases, which is fine. But within all those, I've because I'm since ages planning to create a cosplay character of an early 18th century gentleman. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know already some of my photos with the fantastic wig I got from Bassi Studios, and at the moment, whilst I'm waiting for the costume, I'm doing some makeup tests, which have been bit frightening, because I think I'm really fond of painting portraits, but painting my face is not really. It's tough. It's difficult, and I'm still. But as I was saying, within so much art creation, blah blah blah, I decided to shift into another medium just for half an hour, and I made this lovely muff. Whoops. It was really interesting to make. It was super easy to make, and yeah, reminded me the period where I used to make costumes for dolls some years ago. Yes, hello, bye. I will leave some links below, my Etsy shop and my Instagram if you want, maybe my Facebook. Yeah, do connect with me if you want. Namaste.